You know, in a funny way, I feel like some of you guys have been waiting for me to make a video like this. It is time to get down to business. I'm going to give you guys my 100% honest review of the 2022 DLC for NASCAR Heat 5. How's it going, everybody? Sloppy Joe here, back with another video, a video that I feel like you guys have been waiting for quite some time. Now, you may know that I play NASCAR Heat on a daily basis. I do it more on my streaming side. Sloppy Lobbies brings almost full lobbies of drivers almost every single week. Now, since a DLC that, should have been out maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, finally came out for $9.99 and allowed me to have a new experience with those players during my public lobbies, I said, why the hell not? I bought it, I downloaded it, and I did a couple streams, and it was a pretty solid time. But then I saw the problems. I saw the problems with the DLC, and a couple other content creators probably share the same thoughts that I'm about to say here on this video. Now, the first honest thing I have to say about this DLC, why the hell did it take 6, 7, 8 months for a 2022 DLC when the same thing is on NASCAR Rivals, which is a Nintendo Switch game, which doesn't really require as much power as a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, S, whatever the hell they're called. I don't even know. I'm not an Xbox guy. But it took that long to get a DLC out that only was, a brand new car model, but only was primary schemes. No new tracks or anything. The only thing they added was Bristol Dirt, but it's not even a new Bristol Dirt. No. They just took Bristol Dirt from NASCAR Heat 4 and 5, which was for the Dirt series, and just threw it on there and didn't really try to make the cars drive any different. Now, I uploaded a video of Bristol Dirt gameplay, and you could hear my reaction during the video and everything. The AI just goes straight up into the wall. They'll wreck you if you're on the outside. The AI just does not go on restarts whatsoever. The cars don't even drive like dirt cars or anything like that. The rears don't even kick out either. It feels like I'm going a normal lap time at Bristol, like a 17-second lap time, going like 130 miles per hour. In reality, I should be going like 95, 85 in the corners and actually having to fight the wheel. It literally felt like I had grip packs on the track. When you really do think about it, this was probably the newest thing when it came to the DLC, was Bristol Dirt. And of course, the NASCAR fan of me would have been really excited about that if it actually drove like Bristol Dirt and allowed us to actually have a dirt experience with these next-gen cars. But it failed. Now, the next thing I want to bring up, and y'all know me, I love making paint schemes. I love paint schemes. I feel like it adds more life to NASCAR games and everything. Go back to the EA Thunder days. Those were the glory days when it came to paint schemes and NASCAR tiles and whatnot. So you're telling me that for $9.99, I bought pretty much the driver roster that is already in NASCAR Rivals. No joke, like no shit, no whatsoever. Go look at NASCAR Rivals. Go compare the driver roster from there to this one. It's the same drivers and the same primary schemes, which isn't a really big problem. The big problem, though, is we only got primary schemes based on a year that isn't the current year. All these paint schemes that should be in that DLC, you can go get them on NASCAR Rivals right now. Same driver roster, everything. All the paint schemes, they're on NASCAR Rivals. However, we couldn't get them on this update for $10. Now, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't think this DLC should have been $9.99 whatsoever. I think it should have been free for the players, especially after the long delay. At the very, very worst, $5. $10 just to get a new driver roster and everything with the dirt series, Bristol Dirt thrown in there is not worth the money to me. Now, before everyone jumps down and says, hey, you bought the DLC, you support MSG. Shut the f*** up. First and foremost, if you know me, I bought the DLC, one, for my community, which is about 40, 45, 50 on average people that come and race public lobbies with me on NASCAR Heat 5. I like to think of myself as the guy who is keeping console public lobbies alive at times. There's some amazing content creators that have kind of dispatched themselves from console and went over to the PC side with mods. Now, I give them hella respect. I mean, jumping over to something brand new like that with mods and doing lobbies and everything is amazing. I give them absolute props. But it seems like all these people that are complaining about the DLC are forgetting about one thing. Not every person out there can afford a PC to do mods and everything. Okay, most of these players that are playing NASCAR E5 averages from the age of about 10 to 16, maybe even 10 to 18. Those people don't have jobs to go and buy PCs and everything. NASCAR Heat 5 may be the best thing they have for a NASCAR console game at the moment to go play with friends, to go race in leagues and everything. And I 100% understand that. So I'm going to step up to the plate. I'm going to put on a show for those kids, those teenagers, and sometimes even the adults that want to come race with me with some pretty decent racing in those lobbies. So yeah, whoop-de-doo. I spent $9.99 to make my community happy and to give a fresh air of experience with a genre that pretty much is my entire community. Whoop-de-freaking-doo. Go ahead and cancel me if you want. However, I'm not going to sit here and say what Motorsport Games did was right, okay? For $9.99, I think this DLC it's just not worth it for the single-player person, the one who wants to do career mode and everything. Now, if you want to do public lobbies with me over on Kick and everything, you want to race online with your friends, experience a brand new car that actually does drive differently, yeah, you can say it's kind of worth it, but it doesn't really add up in my opinion. And that's where I'm going to shine the one tiny... You see my fingers right here? Tiny positive with this DLC is that the next-gen cars actually do drive differently from the 2020 cars. And I will give Motorsport Games the tiny benefit of the doubt there. They did deliver a different driving experience, especially with the shifting. In some of the gameplay videos I have done prior, you can see that tracks like Dover are actually more fun with the next-gen car than it was in the 2020 car. I noticed the cars don't slip as much anymore. Downshifting is a benefit. You have almost 2-groove racing at Dover as well. I've had some of my best lobbies at Dover with the next-gen car. Tracks like Martinsville, New Hampshire, road courses, all of that actually deliver a proper driving experience with the next-gen car for players that cannot afford a PC to go to iRacing or afford to do NASCAR E5 on console with mods and everything to stay relevant with everything going on over there. Now, I will say this, a long time ago, I was a 100% believer in Motorsport Games. I gave them the benefit of the doubt a very, very long time within good reason that I'll probably explain in another video. I know a lot of people look at me as, oh, he gets paid by Motorsport Games and yada, 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 when it's really not the truth whatsoever. I just want to have faith in a company and hope that maybe, just maybe, they can get out of the dirt and deliver a proper experience for all of us for NASCAR gaming. Not just for me, but for content creators, for esports competitors, or just for the casual player that wants to pick up a controller and have a damn good time. Yeah, that video is going to be brutal. You guys are going to really like that one when I decide to make that one. But back to the point, though, with this NASCAR Heat 5 DLC. Like I said, we waited almost a year for this DLC to come out and to spend $9.99 just on primary schemes that you can pretty much just pick up NASCAR rivals and get the same schemes. Not even any secondary schemes or anything after the long wait as well. Oh, and do not forget all the issues with Xbox and Steam as well. Now, I'm a PlayStation user. I'm very thankful, very, very thankful that I didn't have any issues. However, I felt terrible for all Xbox users that were even popping up in my YouTube comments asking what was going on with the Xbox side of stuff. And Steam, they couldn't even access the DLC. They finally got a patch up just for them to acquire the DLC, even though they already bought it. That sucks. This was an opportunity for Motorsport Games, not to get the community back, but to start the process of getting the community back. And they kind of failed. They failed at it, you know? Now, like I said, for me, spending $10 isn't really a big deal, especially when it delivers my audience and the people that love racing against me and others a new experience, which is fine. Don't make fun of somebody and don't call them out and call them fools just because they spent $10 to race with their friends online. That's a little bit reach right there. However, I will say, though, there are some fools out there who still 100% believe that Motorsport Games is going to give us an amazing experience down the road. And I will say, I once was a believer, but I'm not a believer anymore. However, if they somehow can fix it, if they somehow can bring me back to some promising things, I'll listen. I'll see what's going on. But I will say right now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the new CEO, Stephen Hood, because he was there before Dimitri Kosko took over as CEO. And from what I know, Stephen Hood is a pretty good guy with a good head on his shoulders and good intentions. So I'm not going to throw anything towards his way. However, the way Motorsport Games ran stuff, you know, this DLC and prior with Ignition was absolutely terrible. And I feel sorry for everybody that had to go through all that, including me and my community. Hell, I even persuaded some of you to get Ignition. And I still feel terrible about that to this day. But I'm going to save that for another video that I'm still trying to make and everything, put all the pieces together. I don't want to give you guys a bunch of bull crap stuff that's not true or anything. I want to give you guys an accurate video about my experience with motorsport games. So all in all, what do we think about this DLC? Well, for $9.99, it's not really worth picking up, especially for those who love the single player experience with career mode and everything. Hell, there's even a custom car in the driver selection, but no paint booth. What? Now, however, for the multiplayer people that love racing in my lobbies or with content creators or in leagues in general, sure, $10, you get a car that actually does drive differently than the 2020 cars and a new driver roster and everything. It kind of gives a little bit of a fresh breath of life, but it's very tiny. All in all, this was a chance for Motorsport Games to start the process of maybe earning the community's trust back, and it kind of failed. I'm not really that surprised because this DLC, I personally believe this DLC has been done for a couple months now. I just think Motorsport Games just didn't have any money to push it out. And now they finally had some to push it out. They didn't really touch it. It's been done. They just threw it there and just waited to see what the players would have as soon as they downloaded it. But what do you guys think about the NASCAR Heat 5 2022 DLC? Let me know in the comment section below if you bought it or you didn't buy it and why that is. And if you did buy it, of course, please come by and race with us on Kick. We do sloppy lobbies about twice a week. Kick.com/its sloppy_Joe. That way you guys can get your $10 worth and race with the best of the best on the console side. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I have some amazing stuff planned for you guys. Thank you as always. Stay sloppy and I'll see you guys on the next video.